Hi Gemini, welcome to October 2017. You are very focused here in October, especially when your ruling planet Mercury enters deep dark Scorpio on the 17th. But the entire month you're very focused on whatever you're doing, your work, your creative projects. You are not interested in being distracted by other people or what's going on in the world. You're very lasered, focused in on, this is my work, this is my project, this is my creative self-expression, this is where I am, this is where I want to be, and I'm not interested in what's going on out there, or what's going on with other people. And this is surprising to others. When you look up and notice, they're like, hey, what's going on with Gemini? And you're like, hey, I'm just focused on what I want to do and what I need to do, and that is the key with you this month, and it is the key to your success here in October. Now, October does have turbulence throughout it, and that's because the Aries full moon is being T-squared by Pluto on the 5th, and the Libra new moon on the 19th is being exactly opposed by Uranus. Now, Pluto and Uranus have been changing everything since 2008 when Pluto entered Capricorn. So we're almost a decade into this transformational, life-changing energy that has been going on for quite some time now. And it is in the cardinal signs, the Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. And so when we're in their moon cycle, Aries new moon, Libra new moon, then Pluto and Uranus can be highly involved with the energies. Now with the first one, the Pluto full moon on the 5th, Pluto is T-squaring it. Now, Libra is your sister sign, and Libra for you brings the action to your self-confidence, your creative self-expression. And so it is in harmonious energy flow with planets that you have in Gemini. And as well as the moon in Aries sextiles Gemini. So these energies are very harmonious with Gemini and any planets you have in Gemini, which is good news. The challenge comes in is that deep dark Pluto is forming this powerful T-square to both lights, the moon and the sun. And this is going to create conflict because Pluto likes to expose things. Pluto rules secrets. And secrets are information that we don't know about, that's been withheld from us and then becomes known. And it can be dark, it can be twisted, it can be, it brings out the shadow side in all of us. We all have a shadow. And so there could be some challenges here, you know, going on in the area of friendship or romance where, you know, one minute you're excited about the relationship, Venus and Mars are coupled together exact at the full moon in Virgo in positive energy flow with Pluto, but Saturn is challenging both of them, and Pluto is challenging the Libra sun and the Aries moon, which means alliances can be broken, or, you know, you meet someone and you really like them, and then all of a sudden, you know, something, you find out something about them, and that could be a deal breaker. You know, and this isn't just romantic relationships, this could be business partnerships, this can be a property you want to buy, and, you know, you find something out about the buyer or the seller, whatever role you're in, and it can be a deal breaker to the contract, to the liaison. And so this is really strong here in October, and even at the end of September, going in these first couple of weeks of October. It's very rocky, it's going to be bumpy. When we're dealing with Pluto, we can be dealing with jealousy, we can be dealing with guilt, shame, people trying to push your buttons. And remember, no one has power over us unless we give them that power. and own your power. But for you, you know what? It's like you're not even interested. You're like, oh gosh, I've seen all that before. I know all about that. I'm just going to focus on my work. I'm just going to focus on my creativity and not get distracted by the brouhaha that will be stirred up here, especially at the Aries full moon, and you know, really stirring things up with other people. Now, there could be some secrets revealed to you at that time, at the Aries full moon, that you find out about. It could be your child, it could be a lover, it could be a friend, it could be a colleague, it could be a partner, you know, someone in your circle you find something out about, and it could be taboo, it could be, you know, something Plutonian, and you know, just dark. And but again, you know, you're just like, okay, wow, that's interesting. Back to work. Back to what I'm focused on. And that's a really good attitude to take this month, is to not get caught up in the headlines, not get caught up in the things that are going on with the government and these energies, because they could, you know, the parties here, especially in the States, they could be really not agreeing on things and grabbing a lot of the headlines. And, you know, it is important to, you know, really pay attention to what you're doing and not get involved in it. And, you know, Jupiter's helping you with that too, because Jupiter enters Scorpio on the 10th, and Mercury enters Scorpio on the 17th. And Scorpio is all about going deep, and it's how you apply yourself to your work, your service to the planet. And so you're really, that is where you belong. That is where you are thriving, and this is going to improve your health. This is going to improve your work. And so don't get caught up in what other people are doing. Don't get caught up in the headlines. Focus on your creativity. Focus on your inner child. Focus on your own foundation. And if something falls apart, hang loose. Don't even have an opinion. You know what I mean? Like, just hang loose on what's being said, because it's all about to change again. And Venus enters Libra on the 14th, and this can help to harmonize things. With Venus entering Libra on the 14th, this can help to calm down whatever was blown up at the Aries full moon. It can absolutely bring peace to conflicting energies or conflicting parties, groups that are conflicting with each other. This can help to calm things down, or there could be a mediator that steps in and helps to mediate these groups, to come to solutions, to come to harmonious outcome here. And of course, Libra, again, harmonizes with you. And, you know, you could also be having fun with a relationship yourself, that you don't want to be pulled into arguments or, you know, people creating trouble, and you're just not interested. You're having a really good time here in October, and you're just like, oh no, I'm not getting pulled into that one. Nope, been there, done that. Not getting pulled into that one. Now, Mars does T-square Saturn and Chiron October 11th through the 25th, and that can be bringing, you know, to your awareness things that you have to resolve, you know, in the workplace, or something you have to take care of at home, so that you can be more effective at work, be more effective in what you're doing in the world. And, you know, that's important, because Saturn, you know, examines and tests whatever he touches, and he is in that area of relationships for you. And it is about, you know, looking at, you know, that balance, that work-life balance or life-work balance, I like to say it, you know, a strong foundation, stronger in the world. When you're stronger within self, you can achieve more in the world. And Saturn is pointing that out. You know, and if Chiron is showing any kind of, you know, pain at work or pain on the job or anything like that, you know, heal yourself. Do what heals you. Do what heals the situation. And what heals the situation is if for all of us to stay calm in October and not react to the news or the headlines or what's being revealed or, what is being stirred up with these energies. Because the new moon in Libra, you have the sun and the moon coupled together in Libra, and they're both being exactly opposed with Uranus. And Uranus can be a troublemaker too, because he doesn't care about longevity or the status quo or conventionality. Uranus is electricity. He is the awakener. He's tornadoes. And he can be stirring things up. And, yes, we want peace and harmony, but at the same time, you also want passion, and you want the relationship to have passion. And so it is important to ask for what you want and need in your relationships. And what's nice is Saturn is harmonizing with the Libra new moon, which is really good, because that can empower you to deal with difficult people. That can empower you to deal with difficult relationships, difficult situations where, the buyer and the seller may be in conflict, or colleagues may be in conflict, or family members, and you can come in and mediate and, suggest a solution that creates the win-win for both sides. Because that is what we're seeking, is to harmonize with others, Libra, to cooperate with others, Libra, but to not lose the self, to not lose your authenticity, Aries, in the process. So it's the balance of the two, of being who you really are, being authentic, being true to yourself, and listening to others and cooperating with others, and finding that middle ground will be the treasure here in October, end of September, and these first few weeks in October, because of the volatility of Pluto and Uranus activating both moons, the full moon in Aries on the 5th and the Libra new moon on the 19th. But there is good news here, because with Jupiter moving into Scorpio and moving away from Uranus, which was causing opposition all year in 2017, and that finished in September, that last pass of Jupiter opposing Uranus, and that has created this stall, where we can't get anything done in Congress here in the United States, and we may not in October either, because Uranus is opposing the new moon in Libra and Pluto squaring things too, that we can find that there's still this polarization between the right and the left, or this group and that group. And, but I do see that things can start to come together by this third week into October, because Venus is in Libra, harmony, cooperation, diplomacy, the goddess of love. And then Mercury moves right in on the 17th, and then into Scorpio, and then Mars enters Libra on the 22nd, and then the Sun into Scorpio on the 23rd. And this is really good, because this can bring harmony and love and a calmness that's been lacking for most of this month. And with Mars now in Libra, this can also be, okay, let's work through our disagreements. Let's work through our, let's find a middle ground. Let's find where we can agree. Let's not focus on what we can't agree on. Let's focus on what we can agree on, is what we need in our personal lives and in the collective. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto represent the collective unconsciousness. They represent things that happen to you that are beyond your control. Like for you with Neptune in that area of what you do in the world, your destiny in the world, your reputation and profession and status in the world. Neptune has been, creating this, spiritual, dreamy, fantasy, creative energy in that area, and it's been impacting your personal planets. And, when that is going on, sometimes we feel confused, we feel lost, we don't know where things are going, and that's when you have to rely on faith. And when Saturn moves into Capricorn, that's going to give you an easier time as well, because Saturn has been challenging Neptune in Sagittarius, and it hasn't been easy for some of the Geminis, have really been going through it and feeling lost and feeling challenged, and it is going to get better. Now, Jupiter is going to start trining Neptune. That'll come in November, but we can start feeling it already here in October because he's entered Scorpio. And Scorpio trines Pisces. And that means your work is improving. That means your reputation in the world is improving. That means that you're moving up in what you're doing. With Jupiter and Scorpio now harmonizing with Neptune, that can bring spiritual understanding to you, to the masses. It can bring love, and it can bring like soulmate love, twin flame love, spiritual love. And it can also bring solutions where we again realize that we're all in this together, Pisces, and that we want to work together to solve problems and challenges to make life better for self and for everyone. And so that is good news, that that energy is shifting. And, you know, with that Scorpio effect, the Sun enters Scorpio on the 23rd, you're going to be more like Scorpio. You know, like you may be, somewhat social this month, but you may notice that you're really not, that you're not interested in, being out there or doing a lot of socializing, that you're really focused on yourself and what you need and what you want, building that strong foundation, working on your work, and you're loving it. Whatever work you're doing, you're going to really start to love it, especially with Jupiter going into Scorpio. And then the Sun goes in there, and you watch on the 26th. That could be an amazing day for you when the Sun and Jupiter couple in Scorpio in that area of work, service, health. You could be feeling phenomenal. You could be feeling great, like you're feeling healthy and strong and effective and empowered and efficient. You're feeling effective and efficient all month, and you love it. You're just like, I don't want to be bothered by the headlines. I don't want to know, who's having an affair and who's whatever the latest juicy gossip is. You're just like, I'm doing my own thing and I am loving it. And I just want to be focused on me and what I'm accomplishing, because I am feeling empowered, I'm feeling effective, I'm feeling efficient, and you are. Because look at Saturn in there too, with that Libra new moon, harmonizing relationship too. Like, so even though Uranus is breaking things up, going, hey, I want my independence, Saturn's also in there empowering you to harmonize with relationships. And I really like that energy, because things do start to get much better as we approach Happy Halloween on the 31st. I want to make sure I get that in with everyone. And, so if in the beginning of the month, if things start to break down, like relationships or alliances or contracts, know that by the end of the month, they're back on again. Unless, that Pluto reveals something or Uranus reveals something that we do not want to be in partnership with this person or this group, that we are not aligned with them. But if it's just like, something coming out or something disruptive or someone stirring the pot, we'll get past that. And we'll get to that place where alliances are back on again. Agreements are back on again. Business is back on again. And love is back on again. So if you are single and available for love, and you meet someone and it's really amazing, and you're like, wow, I've got this new connection, and I want to bring this person home and meet the family, and really get closer, and then something happens at the Aries full moon, or anytime the first few weeks of October, end of September, and then it's like, I don't know, I'm not sure, but then by the end of the month, things get worked out, and it's like, okay, you know what? That's not such a big deal. Even though at first it was shocking and surprising, I understand. and I really like you, and you really like me. So why should we let that get in the way of what we feel for each other, of what we have together? And then alliances are back on. And so it's important to, be patient this month, do your own thing, be independent, focus on what you want to do, because you will find that you are incredibly successful here in October, going into November. So for those of you coupled, there could be, some challenge there in the area of relationship, but again, you can work through it. You can work, it will get better. It will get more harmonious as we move on in October, and by the end of the month, things can be harmonious again and really sweet. Career looks good, and it's going to get better because Jupiter is in harmony with Neptune, and that is going to improve your work. And, for some of you, you could be, getting a promotion in here, especially by the end of the month, going into November. That's another reason why you just want to be focused on what you need to get done and not be pulled, distracted by what other people are doing. Spiritually, it's all about meditating, being creative. Another thing too is there's this grand fire trine going on with Uranus in Aries and Saturn in Sagittarius to the North Node in Leo, and that's on at both full moons, and it's another way out from the craziness or intensity that we might be experiencing here in October. And for you, it is about just focusing on your work, focusing on what you're writing. If there's something you're writing or something you're creating, focus your energy there, because that's the payoff. That's the payout. Health looks great. Health is really improving and will improve with Jupiter and Scorpio for you. And that's good news. I don't see any challenges to the money. I mean, there could be something that comes up around the Pluto T-square at the Aries full moon with something, an expense with a child or a friend or a situation that your partner has this expense, or, your child needs something, or a friend or something comes up. And so, it is important to be, prepared for something that comes up that you didn't plan on, that could come up. But you will have the money as that moon separates, that Aries moon separates, it reaches a trine. And so you may find that your partner or someone else steps up and they take care of it. Or that you get more money at work, so that you get a financial payout at work, more money, bonus. Something comes in through your work that gives you more money, which is always most welcomed. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, favoring, sharing, and Google Plussing my videos. Gemini, you're rocking awesome. Thank you for subscribing. You totally rock. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It really supports the channel and what I'm doing here with you. And if you're interested in me taking a look at your astrology, it's very easy. The link is below in the Show More section. It's also up in the cards. You go to my astrology page, purchase a consultation upon checkout, get the link to my schedule, and we're working together. Or if you're interested in coaching, you go to my coaching page, you purchase a session upon checkout, you get the link to my schedule, and we're coaching you. So until next time, Gemini, you're getting your work done and you are loving it.